Hello, I'm going to be doing a recap of a Japanese drama called Watashi ga Renai Dekinai Riyuu. I probably pronounced it wrong. But it's about these three women who decide to move in with each other and they experience life and love and everything with each other. We got Fuji, who she's a tomboy, but she really wants to be in love. You got Saki, she's like the wise one, but they never love seriously. And Beko, she's like, I think 2 years younger than him, but she's too serious. And the drama starts off with Lisa talking, typing on her laptop and just talking about love. Like, it just shows like different women, going in life, but they want love, but different things just get in the way of letting it happen. And Fuji, like, it showed a scene of Fuji. She was talking to one of the dudes at work. And here comes the dude, just smacks her on her butt, and she smacks him right back. And she's like, "You got a big old butt." And the dude was like, "I see why you can't get nobody. You over here acting like a man." And then he was like, "Oops," like maybe, like he offended her. But, she just played it off. And it goes on. Fuji ends up going home later, and she got something in the mail. I don't know what exactly it was, but I think she got a cell phone call, and it was like, "Are you gonna come to the drama club meeting?" And she's like, "Oh, that's already happening." So man, I can't, like, well, did it happen that day? I think it might have happened that day. Not sure. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna dive right into it because it seemed like it was the drama started off with like too much stuff going on at once, and then it started honing in on them. But then it was like, like the little parts that I didn't think would matter. Like, as you watch the episode, you realize they do matter. But Fuji, she gets late to this so-called drama club meeting, and when she do, everybody's having a good time, and like, we should go to this club, and Fuji was like, yeah, but now by one these and she's with her friend Saki, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, my mom's watching the kids and I need to get them," and one girl's like, "I need to get with my boyfriend," and this and that. So it shows later on Fuji and Saki are at they're at a bar, and Saki's like, "Women are like ham, or thinner than him." And Fuji was like, "What?" She said, women can't be trusted." She said, "At the end of the day, if they got a boyfriend, they leave you, they get married, they leave, they all come first before you." And so she was asking Saki, like, we should live together. And Saki was like, "Shoot, that's a good idea. My lease is about to be up." And then Saki walks to the bar. She said, "We need more." And Fuji was like, "One more of what?" And Saki said, she said, "Didn't I just say women are thin like ham?" She said, "If one of us, leaves, there need to be an extra person, 3. She was like, "Oh, okay." She said, "If I find somebody, I'll call you." So the next day, Fuji's at work, and ta-da! Her guy friend has came back from being overseas. And she didn't know that, so she was surprised. This was the part where I said I didn't, it had me thinking for a moment if this was important or not, because there was a time when this girl just like gossiping about seeing if this dude and this woman was together, and they were, and someone brought up this guy friend, and it seemed like this guy friend was important, but the two people that the girl was asking about apparently they work together and they're married. And Fuji works at a lighting company. She does the lighting for shows. Anyway, so she's surprised, and they're working they're working like getting equipment together and whatnot, and they hitting each other, and you could just see her smiling and just happy to see it. And she gets a call, and Saki's like, I found somebody. And she said she's 2 years younger, I guess, and come to find out it's Mako, which is she's this dude seems like he's interested in her. And anyway, she comes out and they all meet, and come to find out Mako got her audience abroad overseas, and there's a house. So all 3 of them got a house, so they get to go live there, and they all each have a bedroom. And they celebrate by eating dinner, and you can tell when Mako's serious then. They're like, wow, look at all this. Is this okay? And Mako's like, yeah, if we pay 500 yen, which I don't know what that translates to, each a piece, she said it's good. And next she gets up and she come back with a piggy bank. And I just thought he was like, we gotta pay this now. And Mako's like, yeah, it start adding up, so they all dug in their pockets and whatnot and put the money in the piggy bank, and they had a feast. And then they start talking about, them wanting to be in love. And Saki's calling it the love desert, and Fuji's like, I only liked the guy for 2 weeks. We only went out for 2 weeks. And look at her, like, just like 2 weeks. All the relationship started back on love, because started on love is because Mako was looking at her phone, and she's like, they're like, why are you looking at it? She's like, this dude asked me for my phone number, but he hasn't responded. And Saki was like, you don't need to respond to him right now, you're being too serious, but she said men are hunters, so I guess she's trying to say that men should come for you, not the other way around, I guess. Anyway, and so Saki Mako look at her just like, whoop-de-doo, just 2 weeks. And Saki was like, I thought this was going to be an awesome conversation. And, Mako's like, I want to be in love. And Saki's talking about it. And Fuji, they all just so Mako makes this whole speech. And they all get up and, they cheer. They're gonna, and Saki had these 3 rules about marriage. Something that happens that means you're gonna be alone. I don't exactly remember what they was, but I guess during the night they wrote it down and posted it on the wall for all of them to see. And the next day he wakes up, Fuji, I'm confused why she was running around. But she saw Mako as she was leaving. Mako was like, I don't think Saki has to work. Her publisher said she's off. So it might have went back to Fuji working with the guy friend at the beginning, I do believe, and they were just in sync. You could tell they make a great team, and it goes back. Remember I said the little parts, you didn't think would count, and the 2 couples that are married and working the same company together, and she was like, I remember how we used to be like that. And her husband was like, huh? Like, he heard it, but didn't completely hear it. And he had him, thinking or whatever. And then it goes to show Saki. She's at an interview. And I thought that was weird because after Fuji had ran off and Mako left to go to work, it shows Saki in her room, like, looking at a piece of paper going, looking at this interview thing. Next thing you know, she is at an interview and asking. I'm like, I'm confused. I thought she's already working with a publisher. And then it shows her calling and talking to her mom and whatnot. And then it shows Maki going into work, and she sees that the dude that she's interested in, that got her phone number, wasn't there. So she texts him like, oh, I didn't see you. Like, are you okay? And during the time, they all find out, they decided we should go to a mixer. But come to find out, Fuji doesn't have really any dress-up clothes. They're kind of work-up clothes. And, I mean, she does work in as a lighting company. They're in the dark, doing the lighting for show. So it's really tomboyish outfits. And Saki was like, no, we can't have none of this. We're going to take you shopping. And first she took her up to this upscale place and changed her mind. And next thing I know, that she took her to another place. It looked like Saki, Fuji was okay with the price. And next thing you could rent, I didn't know you could rent some bags. Her friend was like, you need to look at least nice, but you don't want to look too rich, but you need to have one rich item. And so they rented a Coach purse for 2,000 yen, I do believe. Again, I have no idea what that is, but I was like, okay. And they're shopping and whatnot, and then it finally shows Mako talking to that dude, coming up to her, and he's like, you want to have dinner? And she's like, okay. And so it's at the end of the day, and Fuji and Saki are walking outside, and then Saki's like, I got somewhere to go. And Fuji was like, what? So she called Mako, and Mako's like, sorry, I'm in the midst of something. And so she said, she's like, man, I'm hungry. She said, women are thin like him. And it shows Mako with the dude, and he was like, who was that? And she was like, it's a friend. He was like, 80% of the time that means she has a boyfriend. She said, no, it really was a friend. And he was like, when you deny it, it means 90% of the time it really is a dude. And she was like, no. And he was like, I'm just joking. And then he was like, can I take you home? And she's like, no, that's okay. And then he was like, 10% of people usually are happy about that. And she was like, and he was like, well, I guess for tonight, I'll be that, or he said 90% of women like that when men take them home. And that's when her wives went. And, and he was like, I guess for tonight, I'll just be that 10%. And then comes the day of they mixer. And you could tell Fuji is uncomfortable as I don't know what she is. She was in the dress and stuff. She just looked uncomfortable. And even when they got to the dinner, you could see it kind of gave mixed signals. Like sometimes she would forget that she was even at dinner, and she'd be like, huh, what? And then it seemed like the guys were interested in her, and it maybe not, I don't know. And one time her guy friend had texted her, and she went out to the bathroom to look at it, and she started looking at herself in the mirror, and she's just like, what am I doing? She didn't feel like it was her being all dressed up and whatnot. So when she went back out, she heard her friend talking about, she's dirty like a diamond, but she's, like a diamond, there's something, and she just goes to them and apologizes and leave. And Saki chases after her and like, what's that? And she said, I'm just not feeling it. And so it happens the next night. Fuji is with the guys, which is include her guy friend, and they stop at this place. And I guess it's kind of like women be all over you, a hostess bar. And one of the dudes like, we can't go here because Fuji's here. And and you could tell it kind of bothered Fuji when he said it, because he was like, the dude was like, it's okay because she's not a woman. And her guy friend looks back at her face and see if she's okay, and she's like, yeah, I'm okay. And then out here comes a woman, which happens to be Saki. Remember, Saki said she was a publisher, and remember I said she was going to interview, but no, apparently she's been working at a hostess bar. And so Fuji doesn't say, she just said, I'm going to leave, and she start walking off very fast. And again, her guy friend does take glance at her. And Mako was out with somebody, and he asked her, you want to come home tomorrow? You want to come to my place? And she said, yeah. And then he went back, and he went to the scene, and he's, his boxers, and he's climbing in bed. And I'm like, wait, hold up. Like, she's a serious way. I was not expecting her to go there. And then he started closing into her, and she was like, I can't do this. And she gets up and leaves. So When she gets home, she sees Fuji sitting on the couch, and then here comes Saki, and Saki's like, "Oh, you up? You going to make fun of me?" And she started going in on Fuji, and she's like, Fuji didn't even say nothing. Like she just started. She acted like Fuji was judging her for what what she was doing, and I forgot what did she tell her. I don't know, but she said some mean stuff, and then was like, "That's why you can't get a man." And she started walking off, and Fuji was like, "Remember I said that 2 weeks didn't count?" And I'm thinking, hold up, forget you talking about your love for 2 weeks. This girl just said all kind of mean stuff to you, and Mako Saki, you still on that? Well, not Mako, Saki. I hope that's the one I've been talking about, and I didn't call it Mako, but Saki, the one that's the hostess bar girl, and she went up to her, and Fuji went up to her and was like, "I'm not about to have you talk to me any kind of which way." And she said something, and she said, "That's why you're just a hostess bar." And so Saki slaps her, Suji slaps her, and then they start hitting each other. Which I guess this is kind of good that you have a third person living with you, because Mako split it up, and and then they all end up outside, and they all talking about their different, troubles in love, really. And Mako was like, "I'm hungry," and Fuji was like, "Okay, I'll get ham." And because the whole women's trust is thinner than ham or whatever. I forgot already, and I said it like twice or 3 times. But and when she brings out the ham, she gets a call, and text message, and it's from her guy friend, and he was like, "I have something important to tell you. Can we meet tomorrow?" And then she puts it out. She's like, "I've decided." She said, "I'm gonna remember the guy for 2 weeks." She said, "I'm gonna tell him how I feel tomorrow." And Mako's like, "That's your birthday, right?" And so the next day she wakes up, and her mom had texted her a picture that said "Happy Birthday," and she gets ready, and this time, this is something more like Fuji. She has a dress up shirt on instead of pants, but it looked like her, which they told her. And her friend Saki gave her a purse, and Mako gave her a love charm. And during that time, they all decided that they were gonna fight it out for love. Mako was gonna tell the guy how she felt, because she ran out, told him, we can't do this. And Saki's talking about she's gonna find real love. And so that was all their goals today. It starts off with Fuji missing her bus, and she climbs into the car, this taxi with this dude. Well, first he climbed in, he was gonna drive off, but then he had the cabs to stop. He's like, "Come in," and she gets a call about the interview, and it was like, I guess she passed the first, and it was like the second part is a written test, and she was so excited and everything, and she had took the dude's pen, he gave it to her to write all this information down, and she was gonna pay for her part, and he's like, "No, I got it." And she gets out, and she's like, "Thank you for that." And the cab drives off, and then she realized she still has his pen, which just has his first initial of his name, I guess, and his last name. And so then it goes to Fuji. She get there and sit, and her girlfriend's like, "You look different." Wait, before it might have got to Fuji, it went to Mako. And Mako, she's about to tell the dude how she feels. And she hears these guys talking, which one it has to be the dude that gave her the phone number to, the one that she was in bed with and decided not to do, get it on. And they was like, "She didn't even, y'all didn't even get it on, did you?" And he was like, "No, she's too serious." And I felt so sorry for her. I don't think he even knew that she was there, but, because like she overheard it. And I'm like, "Oh, poor girl." And then it went to Fuji. She sat down. He's like, "Oh, you look different." And she's like, "Y'all, he said he was getting married." And I was like, "Oh, because it's her birthday. She was going to tell him how she felt." and everything, and here comes the girl that he's getting married, and she introduced him to him, and then someone came out with a birthday cake and saying happy birthday to the next table, and then she just all of a sudden got up and said that that's that she had a birthday party to attend, and he was like, oh, sorry for having you come down here while you busy. And she actually dropped her love charm and picked it up, and she loved. And there was this scene where she um was looking in a window at herself, like in the store window, and she goes off and walks off, and it ended that way. It was like, oh, that is so sad. But yes, this first episode was good, so good, but like poor Saka. Hopefully Saki gets her job, and Mako, I don't even know what to say about that, because he's already telling other dudes that he didn't even get it on with you. I just know, she could find somebody better. And Fuji, I just want to tell her, what kind of friend is he? Because it looks like they've been friends for a long time, and I mean, it was your, well, I mean, anyone should be happy to get married, but the fact that he didn't even know it was your birthday, just know. But yeah, it was a good episode, and yeah, that was it.